Welcome! Join me as we explore some fascinating destinations that are on my dream list. Let's go! Our first stop is Angkor, Cambodia. The ancient capitals of the Khmer Empire house some of the most remarkable architectural and artistic accomplishments of the ancient world. Deep in the forest of Cambodia's Siem Reap province, the elegant spires of an ancient stone city soar skyward above the sprawling complex of Angkor Archaeological Park. Though just one of the hundreds of surviving temples and structures, the massive Angkor Wat is the most famed of all Cambodia's temples. It appears on the nation's flag and is revered for good reason. The 12th century Temple Mountain was built as a spiritual home for the Hindu god Vishnu. The temple is an architectural triumph laden with artistic treasures like the bas-relief galleries that line many of the walls and tell enduring tales of Cambodian history and legend. The reason Angkor is on my top list is because I grew up watching Indiana Jones and wanted to explore ruins from all over the world just like him. I love watching the Discovery Channel and the History Channel, and when I first saw this place on TV years ago, I made it my #1 dream travel destination. The next place is Machu Picchu, Peru. Tucked away in the rocky countryside northwest of Cuzco, Peru, Machu Picchu is believed to have been a royal estate or sacred religious site for Inca leaders, whose civilization was virtually wiped out by Spanish invaders in the 16th century. For hundreds of years until the American archaeologist Hiram Bingham stumbled upon it in 1911, the abandoned citadel's existence was a secret known only to peasants living in the region. The site stretches over an impressive 5-mile distance, featuring more than 3,000 stone steps that link its many different levels. Today, hundreds of thousands of people tramp through Machu Picchu every year, braving crowds and landslides to see the sun set over its towering stone monuments and marvel at its mysterious splendor of one of the world's most famous man-made wonders. Next place is Luxor, Egypt. Luxor has often been called the world's greatest open-air museum, as it indeed it is, and much more. The number and preservation of monuments in Luxor area are unparalleled anywhere else in the world. Actually, what most people think of as Luxor is really 3 different areas, consisting of the city of Luxor on the east side of the Nile, the town of Karnak just north of Luxor, and Thebes, which the ancient Egyptians called Waset, which is on the west side of the Nile across Luxor. To say that Luxor area is a major attraction for tourists in Egypt would be an understatement. It has been a tourist destination since the beginning of tourism. Even in the ancient times during the late dynasties of the Greek and Roman periods, the area drew tourists and has been doing so ever since. Today, Luxor is well equipped to accommodate tourists with many hotels and in general, a tourist industry ready and willing to serve the people from across the globe that descend to this area of the Nile Valley every year. There are many other places in Egypt that I would like to visit, but if I listed them all in this video, it would be way too long. I love watching documentaries and reenactments on TV of ancient Egypt. Any new content that talks about Egypt and the pharaohs, I get excited because all the shows I've seen about Egypt, I watched several times already. I used to follow Dr. Zahi Hawass when I was younger when he would appear on TV. He's an Egyptian archaeologist and an Egyptologist and former Minister of State for Antiquities Affairs. He is like the real-life Indiana Jones when it comes to Egypt archaeological sites. Lastly, we'll visit Petra, Jordan. This is where the famous scene from Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade was filmed, at the Treasury. The city of Petra, capital of the Nabateans Arabs, is one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world. It is located 240 kilometers south of the capital, Amman, and 120 kilometers north of the Red Sea town of Aqaba. Petra, the world wonder, is undoubtedly Jordan's most valuable treasure and greatest tourist attraction, and is visited by tourists from all over the world. It is not known precisely when Petra was built, but the city began to prosper as the capital of the Nabatean Empire from the 1st century BC, which grew rich through the trade in frankincense, myrrh, and spices. As you can see, I love watching and reading up about temples, ruins, and archaeological sites. I would also love to visit these destinations one day. I've been to many other sites, including ruins in Greece, Turkey, Italy, and England. I've even visited the house where the real-life inspiration for Indiana Jones was based off of. His name was Antonio Futter, and he collected artifacts from his travels back in the 30s. If you are ever in LA, look it up. It's called the Holy Land Expedition. The kid in me will always be Indiana Jones, and I'll never stop exploring. Thank you.